Hey y'all, how are you? I hope you're well. Today is Thursday, December 11th. It's actually the anniversary of my dad's birthday. My dad would have been 83 today if he hadn't passed 2 years ago. And I just wanted to kind of hop on here, give you guys a little bit of an update what's going on, let you know how things are going since I got home from the hospital. So most of you know I got bit by a cat on December 15th, wound up in urgent care and then the emergency room on the 17th, and everything was going really well up until a week ago when I couldn't bend my finger anymore, and wound up going back to urgent care because I haven't had a chance to establish a doctor yet. Excuse the background noise. I'm in the barn where the washer's running, so if you hear background noise, that's what's going on. That and the quail that I'm about to show you how they're doing. So anyway, so last Thursday I wound up going back to urgent care. They wanted to refer me to a hand surgeon. Hand surgeons were all closed at that time, so the next morning they called and set me, talked to the hand surgeon's office, talked to the girl at the office, and the girl gave the information to the hand surgeon, and he said send her immediately to UMSC, MUSC, that's it, Medical University of South Carolina, which is a teaching hospital. He said send her straight to MUSC, to the emergency room, have her admitted, I will see her there. And so I dropped everything, told my boss I was leaving, and went straight to the emergency room. They checked me in. They got me in really quickly. Checked me in within an hour. Dr. White was in, saw me, had me consent to having my hand opened to see if there was any infection in there that needed to be drained out, and did that. There was no infection. There was nothing that needed to be drained. So he admitted me to the hospital. I had an MRI later that night. The next day he came in and said, your tendon snapped. And he said apparently what happened was the cat bite was just so that it probably nicked the edge of the tendon and it was going to snap regardless, no matter what I did, no matter how I treated it, no matter how quickly I treated it, no matter whether I stayed on medicine, antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, it would have snapped. It was just unfortunate timing, and it took 3 weeks for it to actually snap. So I had surgery on Sunday. They did cultures. The cultures came back negative, no infection. Everything was good. That way, it just that tendon had snapped and was balled up in the palm of my hand. So he had to go in and clean all of that out. I have several stitches in both my finger and the palm of my hand. I have a couple open incisions that I'm having to soak and keep cleaned. And I can't go back to work until he tells me I can, which is probably going to be another week or so. He said probably 10 days to 2 weeks before he would let me go back to work. So I'm at home, got home the day of the storm, that storm that hit everybody, that so many places had flooding, so many places had horrific tornado damage, and, you know, my thoughts and prayers are going out to everyone who had damage, who lost animals, who lost their lives, you know, just all of the horrific events of that day, and now we've got more bad weather coming tomorrow, which is absolutely mind-boggling that we're going to go through a lot of that again. Hopefully it won't be as bad. We didn't get a ton of damage. We did have one tree come down at the swamp, but it literally yesterday morning at some point mid-morning literally just toppled over. The ground is so soaked and saturated, and it literally just toppled over, and thank goodness it fell towards the swamp. So that, you know, it didn't fall on any fences or any property or anything. So, but then yesterday, you know, after being in the hospital for a week, I just came home and cleaned, and I moved the quail out to the barn. They were in my shower in the RV, and now, my gosh, guys, I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see them. They have gotten so big. I mean, I just can't believe how big they've gotten just in the week that I was gone. And they've got most of their feathers, and they are climbing all over each other, and this little brooder box is way too small for them now. So I've got a larger brooder box that I'm going to move them into, and I'm actually going to pause you guys for a few minutes while I do that. All right, so I've got them moved. They're in the new brooder, and actually one of them jumped out of my hands and another one jumped out of the brooder. But it's a little bit, it's taller, so they can't jump as much. They can jump, they just can't jump out when I take the lid off. They can almost jump out, but anyway, no biggie. It gives them a little bit of clean space. I mean, gosh, guys, this was only, let me turn this back around again. This was literally only like 24 hours ago. They're mess making. You know, chickens, ducks, all kinds, birds of all kinds. They're messy animals. So I am setting up this new little brooder box. They only need the heat lamp for about another week, and then they can go into, they should be fully feathered by then, and then they can actually go into a more permanent structure outside. Hopefully it'll be warm enough. If it's not warm enough that very first week that I have them outside, then I'm going to probably put them in a more permanent structure inside without the heat lamp. I may even just leave them in the brooder box. Sorry about that, guys. I may even just leave them in the brooder box inside without the heat lamp on until it's a little bit warmer. 6 weeks, they're fully mature. They're adult birds at 6 weeks, and so by then they should be able to go outside and be, you know, perfectly happy adult birds outside laying their eggs and all the fun things that quail like to do. And yeah, so they should be good by then. And then by the time they are 4 weeks old, that's when the new quail should be hatching. And so we should have new quail at the end of this month. If you saw my Facebook post, I posted that yesterday, the day after I got home from the hospital. I went ahead and set the new eggs. One sec. All right, so sorry, change of scenery. So as I was saying, by the time the quail are 4 weeks old, the new ones should be hatching, and I'll be brooding them for 4 weeks. And then by the time they're a month old, it'll be, you know, end of February, early March, and I should have hopefully a little bit warmer weather. Sometimes March and April are kind of stormy. They're kind of, there's a lot going on weather-wise that time of year. So we'll see how things go. I'm hoping to have a couple of nice hutches for them to go into. We'll go into the chicken yard. Of course, the dogs are barking because I walked back into the RV space, but they'll be in the chicken yard. My friend Todd hopefully is going to be coming in the next couple of weeks to help us put up some more structures and kind of get things cleaned up a little bit too, hopefully, and get the garden space prepped for spring garden. But I wanted to also kind of give you an update, show you how everything else looks. There has been a decent amount of damage. There's Major, Hattie, and Jenny. Everybody's enjoying the beautiful weather today. It's gorgeous. It's in the 50s-ish, upper 50s, mid-upper 50s, and sunny, and the wind's blowing a little bit, but not nearly as bad as it was even yesterday morning. It was blowing still pretty bad, but this is, guys, this is the damage that I've got. Like, this whole area over here, of course, I mean, these aren't sturdy. These aren't meant to stand up to 70-mile-an-hour gusts of wind. But yeah, I've lost everything that was on those shelves. These are fine. You know, nothing really happened to these except they got frozen. So I'm going to wind up having to start over with those again. And these, luckily for some reason, this one's stood up. There was something in that got knocked over or went somewhere. These are potato starts that I started several weeks ago, so I don't think that they're actually going to wind up coming up. I'm going to leave them. Obviously, I don't need these pots for anything right now. I'm not starting anything. I don't have a greenhouse, so I'm not going to be starting any seeds this year. I don't know what I'm going to be doing later in the spring, and if the kitties are out. I do let the kitties have outside time. They've got collars on, and they don't go anywhere. They pretty much go when I call them back. and they don't go far. They do like to go over and harass the chickens a little bit until they realize that the chickens are a lot bigger than them and they really can't do anything. So, but yeah, so we've got some, you know, this was just tablecloths and just kind of got blown all over the place. That got knocked over. I didn't put it back up yesterday because, like I said, it was still pretty windy. I didn't want to mess with it. And then, yeah, the cat tree has gotten so incredibly soaked and it wound up snapping. This got knocked down yet again. This has been knocked down countless times. If I'm going to do something with this as a more permanent outdoor structure, I think I'm actually just going to move this into the barn and use it as a barn shelf unit instead of what I was intending to use it as a little greenhouse, because it just hasn't worked out as a greenhouse. So yeah, and then I'll take you down. Everything else, you know, it's just minimal damage. It's really not anything that's any big deal. Like I said, we had the one tree go down. Stuff got blown around. All of my plants that were in the tower garden got blown all over Kingdom Come. I have absolutely no idea where any of them are. And so, yeah. So, any broccoli, and had broccoli. I had Brussels sprouts. I had a couple of different types of lettuce. I think I had a kale. I had romaine. I had, yeah, several different things, and they're all gone. But if you look down the end, you can't really see much from this far away, but stuff got blown around. We need to pick up all of this and move it out, or find a way to secure it to the fence or something. I actually just want to move it out and throw it away. This has not been as effective as I had hoped it would be. The dogs can get through it. The chickens can get through it. So when Todd comes, we're going to hopefully go get some pallets. And my plan is to build a pallet fence starting at that end and going all the way to this end, with some sort of a gate in the middle for me to go in and out to take care of the chickens. But as you can see, the chickens are fine. There's some branches down, little minor piddly little branches. I'm hoping to go out there either today or tomorrow and pick those up and put them in the fire pit and get them ready for burning. Like I said, we've got more bad weather coming in tomorrow, so hopefully it's not going to be absolutely horrible. But yeah, hopefully we won't have too much left to come down. The trees around here are all super duper healthy. We don't really have to worry about losing a whole lot in these events. There are some that could possibly come down in events like this. Most of the ones that could potentially come down aren't really near any fence lines or anything. So yeah, so we were lucky. We were super lucky. I know a lot of people had a lot of flooding and a lot of damage, and we did not. So it's just a cleanup day here. Enjoying this weather, enjoying my recuperation time, and I hate being out of work. If you guys know me at all, you know I'm a worker, and I'm used to always being at work, and it's a bad time for me to be out of work because somebody else is out of work for a whole different reason. But that was a planned thing. So I was supposed to be there to help out while she was absent, and unfortunately it didn't work out that way. But hopefully I'll be back to work soon and continuing to work on everything here as well. And I will catch you guys later. I hope you have a good one. Bye.